I'm my mic. Welcome and thank you for viewing me on a Saturday. Um, excuse me. Today is something a little different, uh, and this is a segment I would like to continue consistently. So, what are we talking about? So, with this show, this is me talking about um, the stock market as it pertains to the appliance industry. So, if you are new to my channel, I am in the appliance business, and I go live on my show called the Power Block with three other individuals channels. We just line it up. It's called the Power Block. I go first, and then you have two other shows after me. And so, with this one's gonna be a little different. It's still talking about appliances, but I'm diving into as it pertains to the stock market. Why do I feel this uh, channel is necessary? I feel it's necessary because uh, the appliance business, the money is great, right? When you walk in somewhere, when you walk into repair an appliance, there are five or six other appliances in that home that you will be called back to repair. So the money's good, the work is there, right? Unlike a lot of industries, excuse me, in the appliance industry, there's so much work available, and it's called a recession-proof business. Now, what comes along with that? Lots of cash flow. So the appliance industry helps finance your little side projects, right? The things you want, the dreams you have. Um, because it's such a lucrative business, it funds other things. Um, and so a lot of guys in this business, they'll either get into real estate on the side, do some rental property. That's always the go-to, right? Uh, um, or just cash, business alternative. And the alternative I want to offer is putting your money into the stock market. Now, this is not advice on how to trade stock, right? Hang on, I'm gonna try to switch my internet connection here. Look, it's kind of weak. I'm gonna go out. Be right back. All right. Hopefully that's better. Um, it still look a little glitchy. So, well, what this will do is, I'm. This is no advice for you, but this is me sharing what I do with my money, extra money outside of savings. Right? You always want to have a savings. Putting it in the stock market, no matter how successful you does not replace the tried and true method of throwing your money in the bank, even though the return is horrible, but it's still there, right? So the advice I will give you is put your money in for your company's 401k. Probably one of the best investments because your company matches it, so that's almost a guaranteed return. Uh, then I would say, or if you're self-employed, a Roth IRA, a Roth IRA is a way to go. Saving and then the stock market, no matter how successful you are. And that's true diversification. All right, so let's dive into it. So what I'll do is I want to get into the appliance publicly traded companies that has to do with the appliance business, right? In the U.S. stock market, right? So I am open to suggestions. So definitely put some suggestions in the comments if there's some I did not address. Let's check out screen share. I apologize for my picture. I don't know, my internet is acting weird today, but the show must go on. Let me try to switch back to my. I have two connections. This one seems to be worse because it's blinking on me. Oh, that's only showing me one. I don't know why this thing is blinking. Bear with me. Technical difficulties. versus me. Okay, it's only showing one connection. All right, so and also feel free to put in the comments, what do you do with your extra cash? What are you doing with it? There's a saying, none of us is better than all of us, right? So I definitely don't have the method, right? It's just what I do with the extra cash I make from appliance repair. So feel free to drop that in the comments. Okay, looks like it's not showing my other connection. It's acting shoddy today. But we're going. I'm going go mode. So let's go to screen share, and we're going to go to my lineup for stocks to check when it comes to appliance. Now what could this do for you? Well, what this does for you is tells you, it gives you an indication of the market, right? So let's say you're having a slow period in your business, and you're like, man, I wonder if it's like that everywhere. Man, look at how companies are doing, right? Now, keep in mind, a stock price typically doesn't really have anything to do with how well a company is doing, contrary to popular belief. It is actually a reflection of emotions. Case in point, if, like when there's a COVID lockdown, people got scared, they started pulling the money out of the stock market. That made the stock drop, right? And also you'll have, case in point, during the housing crash, and automotive manufacturers were getting hit hard. Car dealerships were shutting down. You had Ford and GM crashing. GM was going to file bankruptcy, right? Well, Toyota, ticker symbol TM, excuse me, didn't have no problems. But their stock is called, this old saying, a rising tide raises all ships or lowers all ships. They were affected by the overall category they were in, right? So Toyota was a good buy because their competitors were in trouble, but they were still in the same segment. So what I have up on the screen right now, right? I have the S&P 500. So I'm going to show you all the companies we're going to go over. We're going to go over the S&P 500. That's always the base. The S&P 500 is been undefeated for the last 30 years. You could blindly. Okay, not you. I'm not for advice, but I feel comfortable blindly buying the S&P 500 and not looking at my money again. It's an index fund. It's the best, the top companies in the country, and it's always updated. And it's the next best thing to having a broker. So we always look at that first, right? Because that's the overall condition of the stock market. So what we have lined up? So obviously I have Whirlpool, which is the big daddy of all in the U.S. So we're going to look at Whirlpool. We're going to look at GE, right? GE is not really in the appliance business anymore. They got a lot of stuff going on. But people are still, just from a emotional point of view, right? Because the stock market a lot of it is moved by emotion. And people may still look at GE as, there's still GE branded appliances out there. Even though higher is. So that we have Best Buy. Best Buy is a huge seller of huge seller of major appliances. Also, Home Depot. Now, these are a lot of stuff that y'all might have been sleeping on. Home Depot is also a major player of appliance sales, retail sales. And then you have Electrolux, but this one is OTC. So the OTC market is the Wild Wild West, not very well regulated. But high risk, high reward type of trading is done there. A lot of day trading is done there. A lot of penny stocks out there. This is far from a penny stock. Excuse me. And we got next up. I'm gonna go over is WSO Wasco. I don't know if I'm saying that right or wrong, but they're a major player in the appliance game, and we'll go over that who they are. And this company does P&I, the ticker symbol. They do a lot of water filtration, pools, stuff like that. Not necessarily appliance that we're talking about, but it's in the category. It still may affect the stock. It's something. It's another thing to look at, right? So that's what that will do. Okay. So let's go to. Let's start where we're at now, right? Let's start here. Excuse me. Then we work our way to Whirlpool. Now, what I'm gonna do? Excuse me. Get over a cold here. So what are we looking at? So these are candlestick charts. I'm not teaching on this. So the fundamentals of how to read charts, I highly recommend looking at plenty of other YouTube channels for that. But this is like a way of thinking, okay, a good entry point. So there's a bunch of strategies in the stock market. And so somebody to say, hey, go buy that stock is bad advice for you without them explaining what their strategy is, right? They can tell you to buy something, and then if they have a plan, okay, when it hits this certain amount, hit this certain level, I'm going to sell. My setup here is Bollinger Bands in a 200-day EMA. And then you have the MACD indicator at the bottom here also. So this is a one-day chart. And what I do is, personally, when I select the entry point, I like to look at the weekly chart. So I'm going to look at the 1 day, that's before you place the trade. The weekly kind of tells you what direction it's going. And I like to look at the monthly. And again, this is how I trade. Everybody has a unique strategy. You got to find what's comfortable for you and how you think and how you trade. So, and this is a monthly, and this monthly will give me a forecast on what I believe my money should be if I don't look at the stock anymore. Excuse me, tells me where I should be. So let's go to the weekly chart and show you how I would choose my entry. So as you see here, we had a bull run. It was directional for the upside, started trading sideways, and then we had a reversal and traded down. We're going to put some resistance lines here. So, these lines are not perfect, right? That gives you an idea. The stock never lands directly on these lines, but sometimes it does. Downtrend. So you hit a downtrend, hitting this bottom line is a Bollinger Band, downtrend. And this is a weekly chart. And then you start trading sideways, and now the buyers start to come back, right? Nothing but high selling pressure, and subdued by looking here at the MACD at the bottom. Let me go full screen. Full screen. Okay, why is this thing acting up? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong full screen. That's why. That one. Oh, and also, by the way, if I talk about what this company is, Pentair is excuse me, smart water solutions across the world. The company consumer solutions segment. Reading this from Yahoo Finance. The company's consumer solutions segment manufactures and sells residential and commercial pool equipment and water treatment products and systems. It ranks 6th on the list of best home appliance stock to buy. Right. So here we have a reversal. Right. So it's kind of hard to buy here, even though if you're looking at it at this point, was it January 31st, it wasn't like a good time to buy, right? It kept sinking. You never got an indication. You never got a indication of a reversal yet, right? You always want to have confirmation that it's going the other way if you're going to play the upside. If you're selling here and if you're shorting, bravo to you. I definitely might have shorted all the way till it hit this 200 EMA line, which is the blue line here, and that's the estimate of the last 200 trades on it. And so you did have a reversal, and so definitely drawing this resistance line, right? So it's gonna resist, hit the line, fail. It hit the line, broke above. You want to close above that line, right? And then you want at least the center of the Bollinger Band hit, came down. The buyers were in strong here; they were in control. Once it hit this line, of course, some selling off. And then here you make a decision. It's either going to trade up, down, or sideways, right? Depends on the here we go buyers. And right now, the overall stock market is in a rally as of right now, right? It looks like we got a bit of a reversal going on in the market, but do not be fooled by that. Excuse me. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna take most of my time on my technical analysis on Whirlpool, but that's what that is. So this is the overall market. Let's look at the SPY or SPX. This is the index, and say we've been on a run for the last 1, 2, 3. So you're trading sideways. We broke out here in July, 2, 3, 4. Last 5 weeks we've been on a run. In this last week, we had a bit of it wasn't a lot of selling. I might more call that a profit taking. And let's see. So it looks like, and again, trend lines aren't the same. Different people draw them different ways, but we're all pretty much in the same ballpark. This looks like a good support line. I see it come down, touch, and break back above. And we may get some sideways action. Definitely, let's draw this. If you look here, we have a box. So this is the box that's been trading in. So definitely, now if you're buying and holding, right? This is for buy and hold strategy. That could be made that this is still in a downtrend. If you're not sure, you go up to the next time frame, which is a month. So let's go to the month. So we have strong selling, strong. Then so the buyers are fighting. The buyers are fighting by looking at those candlesticks. Excuse me. More of a sideways motion. We're still down in this downtrend. So if we break out of this box and hold, we're in a good position. RSI is looking good. Like the strength is looking towards the upside. We may get a bounce off this center line. So err on the side of caution. I would more say the market is a bit more stronger for the bears than the bulls. So it's more to the downside than the upside right now. Best case scenario, I would say sideways trading. But we are having some strong. Let me draw this. Some very strong buying action from buyers. But I want you to see you break this trend line, hold above it before I believe it's a full reversal of the trend. Right now, it's still kind of in a downtrend. But downtrend is when you want to buy, right? For me, that's when I buy. I buy in downtrends. You don't want to wait to rally and then buy during the rally. You can. Again, depends on your strategy. There's a strategy for everything. So let me see if I can change this. Let's see comments. Sorry, I didn't have the comments turned on. Hey, Quentin, what's up? Arzu, what's up? So where will be my entry, right? So let's go to my entry would definitely be between the middle of the Bollinger Band and definitely the center of the box. The MACD is starting to show some weakness in sellers in the selling. So we are looking kind of sideways for the S&P. So what does that tell us? That tells us open up. It tells me not to put all my eggs in one basket, but it will be find a good entry point, buy a few shares, and then just constantly follow the market as it goes down, buy a few more, and then if it rallies, hang on, wait for a pullback, right? And so you got that next runner up here. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're here. Wasco, excuse me if I pronounced that wrong, ticker symbol WSO, is a provider of air conditioning, heating, and refrigeration equipment, related parts and supplies to consumers in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. The company ranks 8th on the list of best home appliance stocks to buy, according to Yahoo Finance. And J.P. Morgan upgraded them from underweight to neutral with a $218 price target. Excuse me. Very low price target. So that means they feel that the market will be close to going to the downside here. But what does it say for the overall condition of the appliance industry? According to the stock performance. Well, hang on. All right, boom. Well, they're posting higher earnings. Look at this one. So you look on the right where the news is. They're posting higher earnings. So earnings when they come out quarterly with the earnings report on the company, the financial condition of the company. Excuse me. This is back in May. So it seems like to be a very healthy company. Let's check out this is the monthly chart. Very, very strong uptrend since 2010. Wow. Yeah, this company's been killing it, man. I wouldn't buy it now, but I would definitely throw some money at this during a downtrend. But yeah, see back here, this has been a good time to get in. And so also once you started hitting these, see where these wicks are on these candlesticks. So around so the struggle is around $300, excuse me. Around $300. All-time high is around 306. So definitely I would be a little scared to buy around the 300 mark. That looks like the resistance where it resists going higher. But the support, right, where usually a safe place to fall, maybe 283 will be a good buy-in on this. If it gets down to 274, definitely if somehow it gets down here to 230, or that estimate of 218, definitely a good buy. Definitely do your research on that one. And let's move on to the next. Excuse me. Let's go to Electrolux. Now, again, this is in the OTC market, which isn't very well regulated. A lot of times, this is for overseas companies that's trading in other markets. We're seeing a low here. Wow, looks like it hits the 200-day EMA, which is a good entry point to start buying some shares. This is something you're interested in, but I wouldn't take the gamble. but just kind of shows you the state of the union when it comes to the appliance business for Electrolux in the U.S. based off the OTC market. Let's see what Home Depot looks like. Home Depot maybe forming a Head and Shoulders. Head and Shoulders is a pattern where like this would be the shoulder, head, and form another shoulder line, and usually in this particular Head and Shoulders, it will drop down. I would say probably the 277. Worst case scenario, best case $300, if that's true. And let's see the earnings. Well, same CEO since 1972. That could be a good or bad thing, right? I was born in '77. That guy got to be pretty old, man. But he's probably surrounded with good people around him that helps keep the business current, right? That's only my fear with old guys fighting change. But yeah, good catch there. Good research. So Home Depot has been on a tear here since June, on an uptrend here. So you see this channel. Let me show you something. So there's a channel here, right? The trend. Let me show you. I'm going to show you with this trade line. Actually, let's zoom in. Yeah, see, it's not shooting up as much as it was when you zoom in, but there you go here. There you go here. You go from here to right about here. So this is a channel, right? So it's just bouncing around in this channel, and this is a daily chart. So it's bouncing around in this channel. My concern would have been here. So you look at all these other. Let me put a line here. There was a resistance here, and it broke through, fell down, and look at that candle. Bam! The buyers just came in. They busted through, couldn't hold it, and so you have a bit of a pullback. That's what that's called. But I mean, I would you know, depends on your strategy. So some strategies will this may be a good gamble for you because it's just a little bit of selling, but the buyers are here and the buyers are holding. People who bought here didn't look; they're still holding on to their position. Excuse me. But definitely confirmation is if it breaks outside of this yellow line and holds, closes outside this line, it's going to go crazy. But Home Depot, the part of that was earnings. So they had earnings on the 16th of August, and so let's see what it says for earnings. They beat earnings, which is a good sign. You can definitely go into the financials and see. So Home Depot CEO Becker and Chairman unveils $15 million share repurchase program, maintains dividend. All right, so good news for Home Depot. Let's see what their dividend looks like. All right, $1.90 a share. So for every share you buy, you get $1.90 back, which is probably like 0.006 or something like that percent back. No, a little less than that, but if you bought, it depends on when you bought, I guess, right? Excuse me. But that's good. So that shows that's good for the appliance industry. But as we creep up, right, because they sell a lot more than just appliances. So these are just little nuggets you get to see the state of the industry. Best Buy sells a lot of appliances. They're heavy in Samsung. Samsung is just they're everywhere right now. They're definitely giving Whirlpool a run for their money. And so that's our trend line here. Oh, it's stick. This is our trend line for Best Buy. And do they have earnings? They do pay a dividend of 88 cents, which isn't bad for a $79 stock. They have earnings coming up on August 30th. So, again, this is, if you learn options trading, excuse me, it's maybe a good options play. If Home Depot blew away their earnings, well, see, it's hard to, so they sell so many other things. But it's hard to tell if ASA. I don't know. I don't think I use Home Depot as an example, but man. So when we get to Whirlpool, that'll let us know. We need to see what Whirlpool earnings did to know how Best Buy may do. They're electronics too, but if like Whirlpool released their earnings and they had a very profitable quarter, we may make a comparison to Best Buy. We can always go back to historics, right? So back here, earnings on May 24th. Let's see what they do. Well, they missed by a very, very small amount on earnings, but the revenue they killed it on revenue, right? And so the market liked that. And the next day after the release, so it might have been released that night. It jumped from $70 to $79, hit the middle of the Bollinger Band, and then sold off. So those are people playing. Those are probably swing traders and day traders, especially around earnings time. Some people sell their earnings and then buy later. I don't know. And definitely, it kind of holds around $68. That's kind of your support line there. And then it paid a dividend. And so after the dividend, because some people too, they'll buy it and then sell after a dividend, held pretty strong after the last dividend. So, yeah, this might be a good play, especially if it holds this line, if it holds this support line. Let's see. So I'm thinking here. So yeah. So right here, maybe a little lower. $79. If we can hold $79, $79.50. Around $79.50, 78, 70 at the lowest. Excuse me. But if it breaks, it depends. So this is something you want to watch. That's something you want to watch. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. Also, I mean, again, that was the daily chart. Let's see what the weekly chart says. So the weekly chart shows a reversal, right? Because we had a downtrend here. It broke the trend, held, and now it's so you had a little bit of a fight here where the sellers won. Definitely something you want to watch. That's the weekly. What's the monthly show? Where is my? There we go. Looking for my MACD, man. Gotta have my MACD. Okay, well, that monthly, man, I like it. I like how it looks. We got a support line right around $70. Strong support around $71. Excuse me. And I think maybe earnings may fall, but definitely would buy if it gets that low. You see some weakness in selling from the previous months. And I think a lot of analysts are saying it should be a good fall for the market. So we'll see. I mean, you got to play that one by ear. Let's look at GE. Briefly look at GE. GE is just trading sideways. And that's GE. GE stocks pretty much trade sideways. Definitely got to take it with a grain of salt. But, there's another indicator to look at, though, just in case you see something that may spook us, Let's get to Whirlpool. Let's go to the finale. Whirlpool. Let's check out the news on Whirlpool. Excuse me, let me take a sip here. Whirlpool's making some moves. They've been doing some buying. They've been doing some buying out there. Yep. Yeah, they acquired Emerson. What was this one? Mergers and acquisition. Did they merger with the? Oh, yeah, okay. Insinkiator, Beef Up Kitchen Presents. So they're making moves. That's a healthy sign, right? They start buying companies, buying products. Spend $3 billion. Excuse me. Did have a sales decline. Cut guidance. That was in July. So I believe that was earnings. So they did have a decline in sales in July. Let's look and see. Well, so okay, so well, they beat the earnings, but the revenue. Oh my goodness, yeah, they took a bit of a beating. So definitely, Whirlpool is going to require some due diligence. But we know they're not going nowhere, right? And with Whirlpool trading this, so looking for a good entry point on Whirlpool, right? So let's go. Let's start off at the monthly. Excuse me. So this is a consistent. The MACD is consistent on all these stocks where we're seeing uh, weakness in selling. And we're at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, but we're not yet at the 200 EMA. If I were to hit if the 200 EMA, we're looking around at 120, 130 mark. Depends on, but we're still in a small uptrend. Whirlpool was on a tangent from March 2001 through January of 2020, so almost a year. It was holding pretty strong, and then now it's starting to show some weakness. Um, I'm a fan of Whirlpool. I own some Whirlpool. Uh, to me, it's a indicator of the overall appliance industry, in my personal opinion. Uh, and so this blue line here is what I'm a dub. Right now, it's acting as a resistance line. But if we get a break above and hold, we're in good territory to the upside. But we're right now in a downtrend. Excuse me. So we may be heading towards the 200 EMA. And so that's going to be our resistance line. Let's see if we can find some support. And so when you draw these lines, you're basically trying to draw try to get as many touches as you can. So this may be our channel here. But man, we're in a downtrend, right? The MACD is showing some weakness though, but looking at the candlestick patterns, we're in a downtrend. I would set a buy at each of these levels. So I will go into my brokerage account and I will set a buy at 160 and then 145. If it gets there, right? I mean, this is a monthly chart, so it may never get there, and my money just be sitting. But I like to set it and forget it, because especially those if you got a job, excuse me, you can't afford to be sitting and watching these things like me. I like to just set it at these levels and forget it. If I'm wrong, I'm just going to hold. Right? It's Whirlpool. It's the American stock market. It recovers at some point, right? And this is a weekly. Yep, weekly downtrend. We're showing some strength. The buyers have been winning like the last few weeks. Excuse me, but we are trading sideways. Daily. I don't think if you're going long, Doesn't really matter. Daily is kind of good if you want to buy. Like, so let's say Monday you want to buy, you look and see here it's actually. So if you want to buy something, if I want to buy something on Monday, I would probably set my limit at 163. Uh, 163, or if I definitely wanted to just get in the market, 165 for myself. But that's where we're at. So, BK the Rockies, what up? King K, LOYR. So that's where we're at. And y'all stay tuned. Y'all hit the notification bell to get alerts for the power block, but also get alerts for when I do just do a stock analysis of the overall market according to the appliance industry. If you just came in, we look at my strategy. Again, no one should ever tell you how to trade and what to buy unless they know exact strategy that works for you. So we start off with SPY. Excuse me, SPX. Excuse me. SPX, SPY. Well, the SPX is the actual index itself, but it's the S&P 500. That's the overall stock market. That is the foundation of the stock market. So, if you don't know what to buy, that's most of my money is in SPX, and everything else is secondary. And so let's look at that first. See the overall condition of the stock market, and then we go to these other players. I'll click on them each. We go to these other players to just to give an overall feel on our main player, which is Whirlpool. So Whirlpool is kind of in my opinion, remember, Whirlpool is kind of the SPX, the SP 500 of the appliance industry for me. And so all these other ones, all the smaller stocks, just kind of helps me make a informed decision and where I should buy, or if I feel if there's more downside, or this basically helps me with my stock position. Excuse me. But again, the appliance industry is a wonderful thing, man. If you guys are technicians and you want to play the stock market, my biggest recommendation, either invest your diagnostic fee, right? Anytime you get not when you do a repair, but if you go somewhere and the repair's not done and you get a diagnostic fee, put that in your stock portfolio. If you if you want to sell dryers on the side, right? Fix a few dryers, keep them in your garage and sell them on Facebook Marketplace. And when you sell those, put that money in stock portfolio. And don't spend it right away, but get it built up. And then once you feel the market is right for you, get in. But you don't want to go in and out of trades. The best way to lose all your money is going in and out of trades and watching the news and getting spooked, or excuse me, let your political feelings get the best of you and think, all this is tied to what makes people buy a stock and sell a stock. So when there's a sell-off, when there's fear in the market, it has nothing to do with how, it doesn't always have to do with how good a company is or how bad a company is. It's just the market confidence. So that's it for me, y'all. If y'all have any questions, put in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That way, when my content, when I'm going live, when I'm on live or when I have content available. And appreciate you for being here. Y'all have a good weekend. Enjoy your time with your families. And I'll see you on the next video.